we said, we had a lot of cars to qualify and a couple of cars that lost fluid on the track, which took us a little bit of time to clean up. Tonight is Advanced Air Heating and Air Conditioning, as well as Basil Oil night here at Columbus Motor Speedway. So we welcome representatives from each of those organizations and appreciate their contributions here at the Speedway, sponsoring an event. Lineup goes like this: Randy Sword, John Strobel, Mike Rush, and Dennis Kelly, your 4-lap trophy dash for the Limited Sportsman Division. Randy Sword in 73 and John Strobel in 55. These are your 4 fastest qualifiers in this division. Again, they'll race 4 laps. Now Strobel edges ahead of Sword on the backstretch, and John Strobel is your leader in 55. They'll be halfway this time. White flag now in the starter Jim Paul's hands, and now Sword makes his presence known back on the inside of Strobel. They'll race down the backstretch side by side. Strobel on the outside, Sword on the inside. It should be a close one. And your winner, Randy Sword in 73. So Strobel had all but given up on, or actually figured he had that one in the bag after the second lap. He slipped high, and Randy Sword snuck underneath in car 73. So the finishing order: car 73, Randy Sword. Second was car number 55, John Strobel. Order. First heat race in the Limited Sportsman Division. Mike Brown Jr. is in 22, and outside in car 0, the driver is Zero Hill, Don Hill Jr. Ron Holbein drives car number 3, and Charlie Knoll in 88. Mike Brown is in 20. 29 is Bob Justice in car number 1, Mike Carroll. 8 racing laps. 8 laps to go for this heat race. And Mike Brown off the racetrack in turn number 1. We're not sure what the deal was there, but Brown was off the racetrack in turn number 1. Eight racing laps. The first heat race in the Limited Sportsman Division. Lucas to the base of the tower, please. Bonnie Lucas to the base of the tower. Mike Brown in 20, Bob Justice in 29. Going 8 laps. Justice with a bit of an advantage over Mike Brown. 2 laps down. They'll be halfway this time. Justice still works that outside groove. Now Mike Carroll moves up to join in the battle for that top spot. But Mike Brown holds on. Coming down for the checkered flag this time. Your winner will be Mike Brown. Second goes to Bob Justice, and third, Mike Carroll. Jim Knuckles to the general mission gate, gate B, please. Jim Knuckles to the general mission gate, please. Okay, heat race number 2. For the sportsman division, Steve Scott in 11, Charlie Osborne in 02, Carl Stapleton in 33, Rick Stone in 72, Joe Hill in 70, Robin Pendleton in 10, and Don Renner in 12. 8 laps. Steve Scott and Charlie Osborne slugging out for that top spot. Osborne with the advantage that lap. Again, this race an 8-lapper. They'll complete lap number 3 this time. Osborne unable to get by Scott. Halfway. Stapleton goes below both cars, but he can't make it stick. And now Scott is sideways. He'll spin in car number 11. And everybody gets stopped. Steve Scott in 11. Charlie Osborne, Carl Stapleton, Rick Stone, Joe Hill, and Robin Pennington, the top 5 competitors. 3 laps remain. Stapleton now looks to the high side of Osborne. They'll get a white flag the next time by. Now Joe Hill challenges Stapleton for that second spot. Osborne out front, white flag. Hill with a good corner through 1 and 2, but Stapleton holds on the outside. The battle for that second spot, but your winner will be Charlie Osborne. Second goes to Joe Hill. Third, Carl Stapleton. And fourth, Robin Pennington. Your second 8-lap heat race in the Limited Sportsman Division. Division, the ARCA Pro 4s. The lineup goes like this. Car number 11 is Jeff Sheets, and outside in car 1, Jerry Young. Inside of row number 2 in 95, that is Mike Smith, and outside in 25, Bill Hartman. Car 88 is next, that is Roger Schroer. And alongside in 17, Bob Cumbo. Then comes car number 4, Mike Stacy. 13 is Jody Guerra. 91 is Billy Graham. And car number 3 is Dave Stacy. 10 laps to go. Jerry Young in car number 1, your leader. Second is Bill Hartman. Young still your leader. Now Bob Cumbo moves inside of Hartman. Cumbo is second. Hartman third, but here comes Jody Guerra. 2 laps down. Now Cumbo squeezes in on the inside of Jerry Young, and Cumbo is your leader. Bob Cumbo. Now Jody Guerra is second. Jerry Young third. Bill Hartman fourth. They'll get the halfway signal this time as Jody Guerra tries to work around the outside of Bob Cumbo. A good race for that lead. Cumbo right on the bottom of the racetrack through the corners. Guerra trying that high groove. Now up to third spot is Dave Stacy. Dave Stacy is third. Guerra will try the high groove again, but he still can't make it stick. Coming around, they'll complete 8 laps this time. Now Mike Stacy is up to fourth. for Bob Cumbo. Dave Stacy begins to close in on car number 3. Guerra will try the high groove, but it'll be too little too late. Bob Cumbo, your winner. Jody Guerra is second in 13. Dave Stacy is third, and Mike Stacy finishes fourth. And outside in 74. Oh dear, let's see. James Kearley. Second row is Amos Goodman on the inside, and Chad Butcher on the outside of row number 2. Car 36 is next. That's Dave Hodgkinson. And outside in 6, that is Robin Slaughter. Then comes car 40. Larry Smith in 40. Kurt Halbittle in 50. Car number 2 is Vic Tannerelli, and car 76, Bobby Marvin. 10 racing laps. Your leader is car 70, Carol Hargis. Now Amos Goodman moves around Hargis. Amos Goodman, your leader now. Chad Butcher is in the fence in turn number 4, coming onto the front. Down, 9 remain. The leader is still Carol Hargis. Second is Amos Goodman. Now Larry Smith moves to the outside of Goodman in car 40. And Larry Smith takes over your lead, but Kurt Halbittle is in hot pursuit. Carol Hargis relegated to 3rd spot. He'll complete 3 laps this time. A good race for that lead, but now Halbittle disposes of Larry Smith. And Kurt Halbittle from Imperial, Pennsylvania now is second. Now your leader. Larry Smith now up to 3rd spot in car 74 is James Kearley. 4th in car number 2, Vic Tannerelli. Bob Marvin is off the racetrack in turn number 4. Now Vic Tannerelli up to that 3rd spot. Tannerelli is 3rd in car number 2. Kurt Halbittle, your leader. Larry Smith is second. Vic Tannerelli third. White flag for Kurt Halbittle. And now to Larry Smith. Vic Tannerelli is closing in car number 2 on Larry Smith. In 3rd spot, or 4th spot is James Kearley. But here comes your winner, Kurt Halbittle from Imperial, Pennsylvania. 2nd will go to Larry Smith. 3rd, Vic Tannerelli. And we'll see. And yes, James Kearley will hold on to 4th spot. Alongside in car number 14, Tim Critchell from Xenia, Ohio. By the way, Harold Samuel from Almont, Michigan. The second row from Troy, Ohio, Brian Freeze on the inside, and outside in 81 from Springfield, Malcolm Lovelace. Row number 3 in car number 80, it'll be Rick Haynes, and alongside in 0, Vic Tannerelli, or make that Tony Tannerelli. Both those cars drivers hails from Columbus, Ohio. 2 more guys from Columbus. In car number 12, it's Dale Pyle. And alongside in 55, Jack Wethy. And on the tail, car number 8, no stranger to the 3rd mile here at the Speedway, Lenny Waldo in car number 8. Ten laps to go, your 3rd heat race in the Pro 4 division. Critchell, the leader in car number 14. Second in 81 is Malcolm Lovelace. Now 3rd in car 28 is Brian Freeze. They'll complete 2 laps this time by. And Tony Tannerelli pulls to a stop. Tony Tannerelli apparently with a flat tire. And pulls to the infield. Malcolm Lovelace, Harold Samuel. Malcolm Lovelace. Here later in car number 81. Second is Tim Critchell, but not for long, as Brian Freeze tries to move around Critchell, but now it's Jack Wethy appears to be in car 55. White flag will get a start the next time around, as Harold Samuel now calls it quits in 05. Let's see, Tim Critchell, your leader. Malcolm Lovelace is second. Still 2 laps completed. Malcolm Lovelace, the leader in 81. Brian Freeze is second. So Malcolm Lovelace in the lead in car number 81. Brian Freeze is second. Now third, and trying to work the outside is Lenny Waldo in car number 8. Waldo will go to the outside of Lovelace. Halfway this time. And your new leader is Lenny Waldo in car number 8. Second is still Lovelace. Actually, the board is 1 lap ahead, so this is actually the completion of lap number 6. Now we'll complete lap number 7, this time by Waldo, your leader. Second is Lovelace. Third is Brian Freeze. Fourth, Dale Pyle. Flag will be displayed for Lenny Waldo this time by. 1 lap remains. Still in second is Malcolm Lovelace. Third and looking for a way around is Brian Freeze. And closing in fourth on the second and third place cars is Dale Pyle. But your winner is Lenny Waldo. Second will go to Lovelace. Third, Brian Freeze. And fourth, Dale Pyle. Always draw the inversion pill to determine how the races will be lined up. And Bill Cantley, the fast qualifier, drew a 12, so he will start 12th in the late model feature, and the 12th fastest qualifier will start on the front or in first position. Gary Castle to the base of the tower, please. Gary Castle. 4 laps. And we'll call that a false start as Terry Humphrey got a jump over in turn number 3. So we'll line them back up and start them again. Cars need to stay side by side until they exit turn 4. Again, it's Terry Humphrey, Gary St. Amant, John Ballo, and Bill Cantley. Terry Humphrey edges ahead of St. Amant. But Gary will try to high groove. He'll stay on the outside. John Ballo looks for a way around. He'll look to the inside of Humphrey. Can't make it stick down the front stretch. 1 lap down. Now Ballo tries to muscle in on the backstretch, but he still can't make it stick. Halfway, Terry Humphrey, your leader. Now Ballo switches over and he'll try the outside. White flag this time. Humphrey still your leader, but here comes Ballo on the outside. Your second fast qualifier, John Ballo, door to door with Humphrey through turn 1 and 2. It looked like he didn't even let off down there. And your winner will be John Ballo. Second will go to Terry Humphrey. Third, Gary St. Amant. And fourth, Bill Cantley. First row consists of car number 84. The driver is Ed Duncan, and alongside in 34, Greg Blackburn. Second row in car number 90, Ron Freebus, and alongside Ron in car 39, Randy Maynard Jr. Burgess White drives car number 59, and outside of him in car number 81, Don Wetnall. And finally in the last row, Paul Sheffer in 77 and 07, Doug Druck. They will be racing 10 laps. Duncan, Greg Blackburn, Ron Freebus, Randy Maynard, Burgess White, Don Wetnall, Paul Sheffer, and Doug Druck. 8 cars, 10 laps. Blackburn, your leader. Ed Duncan is second. Randy Maynard Jr. is third. Paul Sheffer off the race track in car 77. This is a 10-lap heat race. 3 laps completed. They'll get the cross flag signifying halfway, this time by the starter. Don Wetnall begins to close in on their lead trio. Greg Blackburn, Ed Duncan, Randy Maynard, and Don Wetnall, your top 4. 7 laps in the record books. Ed Duncan back to 3rd spot, but now Wetnall will try to make him 4th. Your leader is still Greg Blackburn. He'll take the white flag this time by. Now Wetnall runs 3rd. He'll set his sights on Randy Maynard next. In car 34, Greg Blackburn, your winner. Randy Maynard is 2nd. 3rd is Don Wetnall, and 4th, Ed Duncan. Models. On the pole in car number 33, it's Wes Wilson. And alongside in car 47, Larry Harris. In row number 2, car 23. Who said Wes Wilson? I said Danny Eves. Of course I did. I never make a mistake. Dan Eves and Larry Harris. Second row, what a night. In car 23 is Greg Markham, and alongside in 74 is Ken Sword. No doubt about that. The third row in car number 19 is Carlton Smith, and in car number 91, Scott Drake. And finally in the fourth row, car number 6, that is Mike Carroll, and car 52, Ron Otto Jr. I think I know how those guys on ESPN feel when they broadcast a Winston Cup race and those drivers change cars every year, and they always get the drivers mixed up. 10 racing laps. Car 33 is Dan Eves, but Larry Harris still challenging on the outside in 47. Greg Markham moves up to challenge Harris. But now Markham sideways in turn 4. That allows Harris to pull down into second. Now Scott Drake will try the high groove around Greg Markham. They'll be halfway this time. And they're telling us that Larry Harris is okay. Okay, while I have a minute, we understand that Don Bender, who was involved in an accident earlier this evening in a Pro 4, is still at the hospital, but will be, they said, we just talked to the hospital and they said they are getting ready to release him now, so Bender is okay. So that's good news. Dan Eves, your leader. 5 laps are completed. 5 remain. Scott Drake, your new leader in 91. Dan Eves is second in 33. Now Ron Otto tries to make his way around Eves. flag this time. Scott Drake in 91. Now Ron Otto Jr. is second. And your winner in car 91, Scott Drake. Second is Ron Otto, third Dan Eves, and fourth Carlton Smith. Car number 2, Pat Jones, and outside in car 61, Mike Ward. Bussy Blackford drives 55, and in car number 7, Bob Edwards. The third row in car 94, Robbie Dean, and alongside in 41, Jerry Mitchell. And finally on the tail, car 83, Lonnie Rush Sr. 10 laps. The third late model heat race. Flag as Lonnie Rush Sr. tagged the backstretch wall and appears to have a flat tire on the right front. Mike Ward, your leader. Second is Bussy Blackford. Third is Pat Jones. Fourth, Jerry Mitchell. Bussy Blackford wastes little time going to the high side of Mike Ward. And Blackford, your leader, he starts to move away from Mike Ward. Now Pat Jones will try to move his way around Ward and does so. Pat Jones is now second. And Ward is off the pace in 61. Bussy Blackford, Pat Jones, Jerry Mitchell. 6 down, 4 to go. Looks like a force to be reckoned with in tonight's feature. He has got that 55 running very good this evening. He takes a white flag. Pat Jones is second, Mitchell third, Robbie Dean fourth, and Bob Edwards fifth. And your winner by a long shot from New Lebanon, Ohio, Bussy Blackford. Second is Pat Jones. Third, Jerry Mitchell. And fourth, Robbie Dean. get underway. A lineup for this trophy dash in car number 2, Dan Brown, and alongside in car 27, Dave Dysinger. The second row in the blue and white number 6, Bill Wellman, and alongside in car number 9, Jim Cruz. Your leader. They'll be halfway this time. Jim Cruz is second, Dave Dysinger third. Cruz will try to go to the high side of Dan Brown. White flag. And Dysinger with a near miss. The race back at the front, still underway. It'll be close for the finish. Checker flag this time. And your winner is Dan Brown. Jim Cruz is second. Third goes to Bill Wellman. And fourth, Dave Dysinger. A heck of a job of driving out of Bill Wellman for avoiding a spinning Dave Dysinger. Junior in 45. The next row in car 17, Dean Stuckey, and alongside in 71, Wilbur Roby, and finally Herb Pennington in 89, and 33, Jim McCauley. Once again, this evening's activities sponsored by Advanced Air Heating and Air Conditioning and Basil Oil Company. Scott McCandlish in 18, the leader. But here comes Dean Stuckey in 17. And Randall Borman and Herb Pennington for the meeting of the medal over in turn number 4. Meantime, back at the fort, Dean Stuckey moves to the inside of Scott McCandlish, and Stuckey is the leader. They're running 8 laps here in this heat race. 3 laps are now completed. Dean Stuckey, a guy who's raced here for a long time. Herb Pennington back out on the pavement in 89. Halfway signal this time as Jim McCauley looks to the low side. Still Dean Stuckey. Jim McCauley, Eric Nachman is third. And fourth is Wilbur Roby in 71. Moves up to that third spot, with Nachman now fourth and Ron Mangus fifth. White flag this time for your leader, Dean Stuckey. And your winner, or is he? Yep, car 17, Dean Stuckey. Second again to Jim McCauley. Third goes to 71, Wilbur Roby. And fourth in car number 90, Eric Nachman. Dean Stuckey, the winner. The car sponsored by Advanced Air Heating and Air Conditioning and Floor. You can shake a stick at here at Columbus Motor Speedway tonight. Heat race number 2 for the street stock division. Bruce Holmes is in 16, and alongside in 04, Buddy Townsend. The second row in 72 is Walt Kimball, and flanking him in 12, Don Parsons Sr. Then comes the 3-minute thrill show. That's Paul Baker Jr. And outside in 21, Fred Parsons. 26, we understand tonight, driven by Chris Carter. And outside in car 22, Donald Parsons III. Herman Degg is in 23. And Butch McAllister in car number 3. 8 racing laps. Holmes is your leader. Running second is Walt Kimball. Third, Chris Carter. This time, Bruce Holmes still holds on to that lead. is Bruce Holmes, Chris Carter, Herman Degg running third. And now Carter spins in 26. So does Kimball and Donald Parsons. Six laps are complete. A white flag this time for Bruce Holmes, but here comes Herman Degg in 23. Holmes slows through the dust. White flag. Now Butch McAllister will go to the outside of Bruce Holmes. They'll race down the long backstretch. Holmes on the inside. McAllister on the outside. And it's Bruce Holmes, your winner. Second, I believe, was Butch McAllister. Third, Herman Degg. And fourth, Fred Parsons. Goes a little bit like this. In car 33, it's Dan Eves, and outside in 39, Randy Maynard Jr. Car number 90 is next. That's Ron Freebus. And car 81, Don Wetnall. Car 34 is on the inside of the third row. That's Greg Blackburn. And car 84 outside of him, the driver is Ed Duncan. And finally on the tail, car 07, Doug Druck. See, Paul Sheffer was expected for this race, but not out there. And Burgess White also has not answered the bell yet. At this point, 5 cars, it's believed, depending on the number of cars that are already qualified in the pit area, will transfer to the main event. So, unless we have some other scratches from cars that are already qualified, 5 of these vehicles will transfer to the feature event this evening. Eight laps, 5 cars transfer. Down, 7 to go. And Eves, your leader. Second in car 84 is Ed Duncan. All 5 of these cars will transfer to the main event. and a half remain. The white flag will be out this time for Dan Eves. Ed Duncan is second. Greg Blackburn third. The winner will be Dan Eves in 33. Second goes to Ed Duncan. Third is Greg Blackburn. Fourth, Ron Freebus. And your fifth and final transfer car number 07, Doug Druck. So there will be a very brief intermission. Keyword there is brief.